Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and I'm on that mission of trying to see if we as a people can all wake up and enjoy all that life is about as we live in these bodies on this earth during these times. I think I mentioned something to you about divine prosperity preaching, and I don't know if I've mentioned in a post, but if not, I'd like to continue it here. Many people say God sent them, God called them to do certain things, and I have said that sometimes, but most of the time, God, I mentioned to you, has taught me certain things, and what I have been taught, I can just share with you. Now, however, there is a time when God called even Eddie Marcus to do a specific thing. And how do I know when God has charged me to do something or to say something? When I have a need, when I have a want, or when I have a desire, and something is keeping it away, then God is calling me to deal with it specifically and especially if it affects many people. That's how I know when God is calling me, when pain and suffering is being experienced. You see, if I'm hungry, if I'm homeless, if I'm suffering from this or from that, that's a problem that has to be resolved. Why? Because if I'm doing it, if I'm going through it, then there are many others that's going through it. And we have the ability, we have the resources to eliminate. All we appear to be lacking is the will or the know-how. But if a job will do it, if a job will be the answer, then everyone must have a job. Well, if money is required, then everyone should have available to them money and in that amount necessary to do the things that they like to do. In other words, I'm trying to indicate to you that there should be nothing that would deny human beings from experiencing that which they choose to experience. Nothing. Unless it doesn't exist. If it's not possible. And if it's possible and you want it, go after it. And if you can, then do it. That is the way of life. And that is the message that I'm trying to get you to understand. And the system, my friends, the system that you live under must reflect what you're trying to do. It must reflect what you are trying to do. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. The system that you live under must reflect what you're trying to do. I think if you believe that you need someone to tell you what to do, you can't make the decision on your own, then that probably would require that you have a dictator. If you like to debate, you got an opposite view, and you got a process that's in play under your terms of a democracy. And once the discussion is over, once the debate is over, and the measure indicates that more are interested in, then all would go forward with one voice. All would go forward with one voice. That, my friends, seems to be much better than a dictator, but it does not just make it so. Doesn't just make it so. And then you start thinking about other things that people are saying about the problems that exist here around us. We see that, I heard a gentleman talking about this morning that in January 6th, that it just weren't any Joe Blow out there at the Capitol doing what they were doing. That many CEOs, business owners, and people with, positions of power that you wouldn't expect maybe to be out there. And he was trying to indicate that there was meaning something else why these kinds of things are taking place and why Donald Trump has been so effective in it. And perhaps there is a specific thing that he was trying to draw attention to. And that is that he was saying that the reason these things were happening because of what you call the replacement theory. White people outnumber the various groups in America today. But with all of the other people in the world coming in and they say they are frightened, so we got to make sure that our number one concern is that we're not replaced. And if we have to have a dictator, someone that's willing to kill folks, someone that's willing to just do what at least Donald Trump is saying that he would do, then we're for that. We're for anything they are saying that would deny our being replaced. Now, what does that say about the human race? Do anything to make sure that they are not replaced. And what about the people who are running from their own countries? What about the immigrants? What about them coming to America? These are the ones that they call going to replace them. What about them? How should they be treated? Look at it like this. Be realistic. Anybody looking for help deserves to be helped. But there are various ways that you can help people. For instance, if people need a place to stay and they are asking you to help them have a place to stay, and you can do that, you can, in your house, you can invite some of them in there. But I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you can only invite so many. Next thing you know, you've been invited yourself out of your house. So what am I saying? There's a limit. You can help those that make sense. But when the problem is so great that it doesn't even make sense, then there are other actions that must be taken. Now, for me, I know that for me, the righteous thing to do is encourage these people to stay home. If they come here, emergency cases, others, take them back home and help them, support them, and understanding that, like I'm telling you today, how you got to take control of the life that we have. But you got to be right. What do I mean by that? You got to be working for the benefit of everybody. See, if you're working for the benefit of everybody, then white folks ain't got to worry about being replaced because they know they're not going to lose a thing. So what you're getting these other people to understand that they have to stand up for that which is right, stand up for justice, stand up for freedom, and be bold enough to trust that which you can't see to engage you and empower you to be successful in the things that you do. Get these jokers out of office that's messing over you. But in order for you to do that, you got to get yourself in order from messing over you. And when you get yourself in order, you can guarantee, you bet your last money, whoever's in office are going to be there because you have given them the okay to be there because you and they are on the same page. And this is what I'm saying to America today. Yes, we can invite people in and help them, but there is a greater need. And that's to make sure that they understand that there are certain things that they must do, can do, and if they do, will be able to stay at home. And others who have left can go back home. Here in America, sure, we got all this ugliness that's happening in America today. And the reason that it is happening in America today is because it has never been settled. You know, you try to say, setting black folks free when they got nothing and got nothing since. And even though they've been crawling, trying to get back up, they're not up. And let's look around. And it's just not black people being abused. It's people that go into the grocery store. It's the people who are trying to go to school. It's people who are trying to get health care. All of these things cause pain and suffering that got to be settled. It's got to be settled. And is there a way that it can be settled? You doggone right it's a way to be settled. Get the pocketbook out the way. Get the pocketbook out of the way. And make it the objective of the system to answer these problems. Answer these problems. Put everybody to work in something that they love doing, and that is the beginning. That is the beginning of the answer, or should I say that's one of the beginning steps of the answer to the problem. Everybody working in every category that already has been identified as being needed. And they're choosing the category that gives them their greatest joy. And all of the resources come from the earth, free. So we owe nobody nothing. We're using them for the benefit for which we, the people, have determined it necessary. And we create all of the stuff we think that exists in an abundance. So anybody at any time can experience the love of it. And you don't owe anybody anything but your love when you're doing what you do. Not in debt. No bosses other than what the system requires you to participate and be free. Prosperous and joyous and happy and living your dreams. No lying, no cheating, no man. I ain't got to say it no more. If you can't understand this, boy, oh boy, on everybody. And this is what I say. It says for every household. It says for everybody in this country and any country on the face of the earth. I tell you that this, if I can't, there ain't no way in the world could have come from me if there's no God. I guess I'd have to say it from me. But being there's a God, it got to come from God. Because when every last one of you can be happy, except maybe one who says, I want to be the boss. I don't want to follow God. I want to have people giving me the power over God. So whatever God says on earth, I can run those. I can determine who's going to be poor. I can determine who's going to be rich. I can determine what it takes to be rich. I can determine where you're going to sleep, if you're going to be on the streets or in some shelter. I determine that I have been given that power by blind people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody who got some sight going to give you that power. Even though it's happening right now, but people are waking up, and we're going to change this nation, and we're going to change this world. We're going to show love. All my life, I've seen nothing but purely ugliness. That don't mean I haven't laughed. I've laughed and partied and had fun. But all around, for all of the years I've been living, there's been nothing but purely ugliness and hatred and racism and bigotry and stuff that stinks. And I'll be dead soon. And this stuff will still be remaining. I want to make sure that if I can't get rid of it, maybe we can start. Until next time.